Hey guys, it's Phantom here, and welcome back to another video, everyone. So in today's video, I am going to be highlighting certain items, or I guess certain categories of items within the crown shop that you should definitely avoid purchasing if you do want to save your crowns. So I made a video kind of similar to this a while ago called the top 5 items in the crown shop that you should not buy. Now, it is going to be very similar and include many of those same items. However, I did want to expand it a bit more because really just looking through the crown shop through all of these different categories, I just realized that there is actually a lot more stuff that you should definitely want to stay away from if you do want to save your money. Just items that aren't really necessary at all, and oh my god, is there an abundance of them. So I do want to put a little disclaimer here though, that I'm not necessarily saying that you should not buy any of these items. I mean, some of them you definitely shouldn't buy, but like, I don't know, items such as appearance and gear, for example, right? You don't like need any of this gear. Let's say you're playing the game on a budget, you know, you're not gonna actually need to purchase any of this gear for crowns, but you know, if you want an item at the end of the day, you know, who am I to really stop you? I'm just kind of making this video for the average player who probably does not have, you know, that many crowns and kind of wants to use them sparingly on only things that they need. So hopefully that does make sense, and anyways, let's get into the video. So the first item on the list of items within this game that you should not purchase, or I guess more like a sort of category of certain items, is going to be packs. Now, actually, I do want to rephrase that first statement. You can definitely still buy packs, but the reason why I guess I said not at first is because, like I said before, this is, you know, a list that consists of items that you don't really need to purchase. And, you know, for beating the game, let's say your goal in Wizard 101 is to get a max level wizard and beat the game. You honestly don't need to spend any money at all on any single one of these packs. Now, of course, there are cool cosmetic items within this pack that are definitely worth going for. There are, you know, cool pieces of gear. Actually, some really good pieces of gear within these packs. There's spell elements to upgrade your spells. Just overall, lots and lots of items to really boost your wizard. Now, you don't really need them though. That's the thing. You don't really need to spend all of this extra money for gear that is just gonna honestly get replaced eventually, because we know that the game is going to continue. So at this point, I don't know, man. It's like you can purchase them if you want to, but say for a player who is on a budget playing this game, I really wouldn't recommend them because it's just not really that necessary. You can beat the game easily without spending any money on packs. Now, I will say that there are a lot of packs that are more worth it than others. So, for example, right, let's go to the Primeval Horde pack here. This pack drops, you know, a really good wand as well as a really good pet that when paired together can give you a really good set bonus for your wizard. So obviously that is something worth going for. That is something that is worth spending your money on, you know, if you actually do want to go for it. Now, let's say the Caramel Souvenirs pack, for example. If you don't want any of the cosmetic items inside of it, there's not a lot of really good things in this pack. So if you guys do want more information, by the way, on, you know, just like packs and the best packs to go for, packs ranked and all that stuff, I actually do have a video that I posted a few months ago ranking every pack from worst to best based on the items that each pack contains. So go check that video out if you want more information about packs, but we're gonna move on. So next up, we are going to be tackling the appearance and gear tab of the crown shop. Now, I just want to start off by saying that none of this gear, literally none of this gear, let's just go to like the clothing bundles here, or I mean, we could literally just go, I guess we could just literally go anywhere, but anyways, none of this gear is really worth purchasing, in my opinion. So, like, seriously, any sort of gear that you're going to get in the crown shop, I mean, just taking a look at all of the stats right here, I'm just, like, kind of reassessing all of these items. They're not very good. They're not very good. It's been some time since I've actually looked at all these little items here, but the stats on these are not very good. So if you are going into the crown shop, right, you're going to the, let's just say, I'll tackle appearance later. I have some of my own opinions about that, but let's just focus on the gear portion of this, right? If you're going into the crown shop, just with the mindset that if you spend these crowns, you're going to get better gear out of it. Like, since, let's say, this Swarm Commander's Baton, since it costs this many crowns, right, it must be really good, and these stats must be really good. The thing is, I would say about 99% of the gear in the crown shop really does not have good stats at all. More than likely, if you are actually going to spend money on gear in this game, you're going to go to the packs because these are where some like actually decent pieces of gear are, but you're never ever really ever, with the exception of maybe one item in this game, the Heart Steel, which is an Athame that you'll use at a lower level for the extra resist. You know, it's really cheap. It's honestly one of the only items, maybe the only item in the appearance and gear section, at least for that little subcategory of gear section, that you could actually buy and have it be worth it. But just as for the stats on all of this gear, man, don't spend your money on it. Don't spend your money on these things if you just want stats, if you just want to make your wizard, you know, better and stronger. This is not the place that you're going to want to go for all of your gear. Now, I do think that some of this gear, or I guess really all of this gear, is worth purchasing if you like an item aesthetically. So purely for cosmetic reasons, I think you could justify buying any single one of these pieces of gear. Let's say I just really like the look of the Crescent Axe of the Astrals, right? And I just really want it. So I assess in my head that 5k crowns is a worthy purchase to get the look of this item. That's a choice that you're gonna have to make, but I guess, you know, for this case, let's just say, yeah, you know, I do want to buy it. 5k crowns is worth it for the appearance of the item. I think that's justified, and yeah, hopefully that does make sense. So for, you know, cosmetic reasons, and this goes, you know, the same for transformations as well as like hairstyles, etc., you know, none of the stats on any of the gear, even for, let's say, like I really want to stitch this starter death bundle. If I want to do it cosmetically, I think that's perfectly justified, but if you are looking for gear in this game for really good stats, the appearance and gear tab is not going to be the place that you want to go at all. So the next category of item we are going to be tackling on this list is going to be the pet section of the Crown Shop. Now, I just want to start off by saying that none of these pets are worth purchasing. Literally none of these pets are worth purchasing, and it's kind of interesting because it's a bit of a similar case with, let's say, just other really expensive items in the Crown Shop. Let's say, let's go to this starter bundle Life right here. You know, it costs a pretty hefty sum of crowns, 7,500, so you'd expect it to be really, really good, and then it's just not. And that's exactly the same case with pets. So let's say I do want to buy this bow frog here, and it costs 8k, and I'm like, okay, wow, this pet must have really, really good talents because, you know, it's coming from the Crown Shop. I am spending, you know, a ton of money on it, so obviously it's going to give me something good, right? Unfortunately, that's just not the case for really any single Crown Shop pet. The problem with these pets are, I mean, obviously King Zyle doesn't give them any good talents, but at the end of the day, they are first gen pets, so they're just not going to be very good because they haven't gone through that whole, like, I almost said pet morphing. I've been playing too much pirate, but pet hatching process, right? The process in which pets actually get better talents, and since Gen 1 talents just aren't very good at all, of course, that's going to make these pets not very good at all to purchase. Another thing, though, these bundles from time to time, and it seems to be really, really apparent, especially with pets, is they throw a bunch of these pet items together. You know, mega snack packs, Perot's potions. I mean, Perot's packs. Sorry, I totally read that wrong. Dapper Corgi, Bloodhound, Fiercehound, they just throw a bunch of pets together, maybe some energy gear, and they slap a huge price tag on it. Never are these bundles, like, going to be worth it, at least in the pet section. They're never going to be worth it because let's take a look here. You get 4 first gen pets, 3 packs that cost $3.99 or 3.99 crowns each, and then 3 mega snack packs, which is just a terrible, terrible investment. So slap that all together, that is not worth even close to 29k crowns. So this is just a direct scam, and yeah, you also shouldn't just purchase pets at all in general. So taking a look at the bottom here, there are these things called Mega Snack Packs. Now, Mega Snacks are really, really good because they allow you to train your pets up a lot faster. But you don't want to buy Mega Snack Packs because they're way too expensive and you don't really get that many snacks from them. Now, a very good alternative to this would be gardening. So if you, let's say, I believe I mentioned this in a previous video, but I actually don't know. Hold on, wait, where are the... Oh, there we go. Okay, so like the gardening tab, for example, you can get way more snacks. All right, let's just type, I don't know. Wait, hold up. Can I buy? Okay, let's just go to Evil Magma Peas, right, and Couch Potatoes, for example. These plants are so much more worth it to buy. I still would not recommend buying, especially Couch Potatoes, or really even EMPs, because you can just farm for them, but these plants are just way more worth it to purchase because it's essentially like an infinite supply of weekly Mega Snacks, whereas if you buy the Mega Snack Pack, right, you're only going to be getting 7 snacks one time for 2,500 crowns, which you could literally purchase 2 EMPs with. It makes no sense, so this is just a direct scam as well. Do not buy the Mega Snack Pack. Don't buy the Snack Pack. I don't even want to talk about that. Anyways, that's it for the pets. So next up we have the mount section of the Crown Shop. Now this is a very, very similar case once again to the gear, you know, but for a totally different reason. So pretty much none of these mounts are actually, you know, necessary to beating the game. The only reason why you'd ever actually purchase a mount is for cosmetic reasons. Now, of course, as I mentioned at the beginning of the video, this is going to be highlighting items that are just not very necessary, that you don't need to spend your crowns on to actually complete the game and, you know, do well and thrive within, you know, said game. So, mounts, you don't really need to purchase them. They're quite expensive. Let's just say I want this Astral Unicorn here. That's 7,500 crowns. That is a huge investment just for a cosmetic, right? And there's so many different mounts, so really you can just pick and choose which ones you want. Don't buy rental mounts. That is just the absolute worst purchase you could ever make with your crowns. But you know, as for the perm mounts, they're just not, I'm not going to say that they're not worth purchasing, because of course, if you do want to purchase them for cosmetic reasons, I think that is totally fine. But are they necessary in the grand scheme of the game? No, they're really not. I would also like to mention that there are select mounts in the crown shop. I wonder if I can actually go ahead and find one here that are actually worth gold. Yeah, here we go. For example, this Bengal Tiger, you can purchase this for 90k gold, which is literally nothing, instead of 15k crowns. So there's many mounts like this in the crown shop. Actually, there's not too many. There's only like, I would say there's only like a few. Maybe I can scroll up here. I believe certain brooms cost gold if I, yeah, okay. So Enchanted Broom, for example, this costs gold. I mean, the rental costs gold as well, but honestly, just go with the perm. There's no real reason not to. So there are mounts like this in the mount tab of the crown shop where you can actually purchase gold for the mount instead of crowns. So you'll literally get the same effect as any mount, right? Let's say I spend 50k on this broom mount, and my only goal at the end of the day is to go faster and complete this game faster, right? Of course, you are going to need a mount to achieve that goal. Now, it is just definitely way more worth it to buy this Enchanted Broom for 50k for that 40% speed boost than to buy, let's say, this Willow Walker that costs a big whopping 15k crowns for that very same 40% speed boost. So I'm not going to say mounts are a scam, because they are purely offered there for cosmetic reasons as well as the speed boost. But if you only want the speed boost, then just try to find a mount in the crown shop. You definitely can for gold. It is way more worth it, trust me. Next up on items that you should definitely not purchase, we have gold. So there's this gold tab in the crown shop. This is just very simple. It's going to be a very short segment. There is gold in the crown shop. You can purchase gold for crowns. If you give them crowns, you get gold in return. This is the biggest scam. This is the biggest scam ever in the crown shop. Don't let them fool you with the gold sale into thinking that this is actually worth it to purchase. It's just, it's such a scam. It's such a scam because gold inside of this game is very easy to get. Crowns, however, are, you know, a little bit less easy to get. It's just not an even trade, you know what I mean? You could get 50k gold literally just by farming Vestralin for 20 minutes. 2,700 crowns, let's just say you're buying crowns on sale. That's already like $2.70 or something like that. It's actually incredible. Really, just the markup for these specific gold packages, it makes no sense to me why they are so expensive. Of course, they used to be much more expensive, as you can see here, and they labeled it as a permanent sale or whatever. There's just been a sale on gold for months now, but don't let them fool you. This price is obviously a lot better than the 24k that they had before, but 2,700 crowns for 50k gold, as I mentioned, is just way too expensive. So completely stay away from this gold tab, and that's pretty much the best advice I can give you for that. Next up on the list, we have the category of housing in Wizard 101. So we're just going to go ahead and start off with the houses here. And I just want to say that literally none of these, actually no, there's one house that is necessary, not necessary to purchase if you want to beat the game, but just really nice to have. And that is going to be the Red Barn Farm. But the only reason why the Red Barn Farm is so good is because it provides a like for your plants. So basically, if you are gardening within said home, it is going to provide a like for those plants, which causes it to grow faster. Therefore, you know, you get rewards a lot quicker from your plants. So that's really good. And also, it is furthered by the fact that you can buy this house with gold. And wow, I actually did not know this, but you can purchase a lot of crowns, apparently. You can purchase a lot of houses in this game with gold, apparently. Wow, I actually did not know you could buy all of these school-specific houses with gold. So, obviously, houses in Wiz are very nice to have. But you don't need to spend your money on them. You don't really need to spend any sort of crowns on them. Of course, at the end of the day, I feel like housing is really, unless you're planning to like garden in the Red Barn Farm, it's really just like an aesthetic choice at the end of the day. So I would totally recommend buying one of these houses. Let's say if you like the look of the Dragon's Fjord, just buy it with gold. Just buy it with gold and boom, you have a house. But really, if we're thinking about the entirety of the game as a whole, you don't really need a house, or you really don't need to actually spend crowns on a house. It's just not very worth it, whereas the Red Barn Farm is really the only house that you'll ever need, and it's only 125k gold, which may seem like a lot, but once you get leveled up in this game, once you get yourself situated, you'll learn that it's really not that much. Gold just isn't worth really that much inside of this game. At least 125k isn't a very large amount, and of course, this is the only house you'll ever really need if you don't really care about aesthetics or anything, and you don't need to spend any crowns in the process, so that's nice. Alright, so next up I'm going to be talking about elixirs here. Now, elixirs it's really interesting because it kind of depends on the elixir that you're going for. Now, I will say that all of the elixirs that give certain stat boosts or like certain XP boosts, and I think there's even... Hold on, I'm pretty sure, yeah, there's a gold elixir as well. I would say none of these are really necessary. Any of these that, like, battle elixirs and stuff like that. Of course, it gives you, like, an extra damage accuracy boost. There's potions that give, like, crit block. There's potions that give crit. None of those are necessary for beating the game. Of course, are they, like, nice to have? Yeah, but I wouldn't really worry about spending too many crowns on them, because more than likely, your stats, if you have the right gear, they're going to be more than sufficient for taking out all of your enemies. Now, if we are actually going to go to these a little bit more unique elixirs here, it's where it gets a little bit more complicated. So, I mean, Hyper Elixir, it's interesting because it goes for 12 hours and it gives you all those benefits. I would say if you're questing for the full duration of these 12 hours, then this would be useful, but it is a big investment at the end of the day and not an investment that you actually need to purchase. Level 50 Elixir, I feel like, is just not worth it at all, because getting to level 50 in this game really does not take that long, so this just basically makes it so you can speed through the first arc, right, instantly, gives you a little bit of gear, but it costs 30k crowns, which is just, I mean, that's just ludicrous, man. This is not worth it to purchase at all, in my opinion, but if you do have the money and you really don't want to quest, I mean, I'm not going to stop you, but I would recommend just for newer players that this is not the way to go about it. This is just not the way to go about spending your crowns or really just leveling in the game in general. So that's how I feel about that. As for the membership elixir, I mean, this isn't bad because if you are buying crowns on a sale, and there is actually, is there a sale going on right now? I know there was a few days ago. Don't quote me on that. But if you are buying crowns on a sale, then this is definitely not too bad. Even if you're not buying them on a sale and you just want to like gift your friends some membership, it is cheaper to buy from the website, but this is an option. Is it one that I would really recommend? Not really. I mean, not really. I would just much rather, you just save money. You just save more money unless there's a crown sale by going to the website. They even have sales, you know, for your first month of membership being like $5 anyway. So this is, it's a bit iffy for me, but, you know, make your own assessments on that. For the additional character slot, I think this one, it's really not necessary because you don't need, I mean, it's just, it really comes down to whether you want a bonus character or not, but it does cost a lot of crowns. So yeah, 18k is a huge investment, but I mean, you know, you could, if you want that seventh school, right, if you just want to go ahead and tackle all of the 7 schools in this game, right, it's worth it for you. It's worth it for you, but if you don't really care, you just want to level up a few characters, then of course, it's not really, it might not be for you. I don't know. It's just, it really depends on what you want at the end of the day. Expand Friends Elixir, I mean, this one is probably not going to be that worth it for most people. I mean, for me, it's like useful because during live streams and stuff, lots of people add me. But for most people, probably not going to use this. There is an Expand Bank Elixir. I mean, this one's okay, I guess. The thing is, though, I would say this one's probably not that worth it because when stuff overflows into your bank, there's no limit on how much stuff can actually go into your bank. So, is this one that worth it? I would say probably more on the not side if we're just talking about worth. And then for the Expand Backpack Elixir, I think this is actually a really good elixir. Plus 50 capacity to your bag is just really sexy in my opinion. So for a max level like me who is getting a lot of items through quests or farming, etc., this is going to be really good for me. I think that this is a very worthy purchase. Honestly, at any level, because who doesn't want more bag space? That's honestly super useful. Energy elixirs, they're useful. I mean, if you're pet training, you want to do it faster. Obviously, it's more cost effective to actually wait for your energy to come back so you can train your pets. But you can buy this. You can buy this if you want. I am guilty of buying lots of these just because I want really good pets quickly. So just assess whether that's worth it or not for you, whether you want to spend the time and save the money or not. Additional castle elixir, I mean, this is just, I don't know, dude. It's whatever. It's whatever. You want an extra house. You already have 9 houses or whatever it is. You know, buy that. Pros Potion, obviously, for that faster pet training. It's good. it's good. Purchase it if you want, or you can wait for the timer. Animus Elixir, don't. Bric-a-brac Elixir is probably only for housing decorators. Fishing elixirs, I would not buy. I definitely wouldn't. Hatching elixir, I definitely would not buy either, because hatching costs gold nowadays to hatch your pets, instantly. A crafting elixir, if you're running through all the crafting quests and speeding through them, this might be worth it to just buy a couple of these, but yeah. As you can see, when it comes to elixirs, it really just depends on what you want at the end of the day. So at least for, these ones. As for the stat ones, I really wouldn't recommend buying. I think they are a huge waste of crowns, but a lot of them just really do come down to time management and how you want your kind of time management to influence the amount of money you spend on your game. That's honestly what a lot of these come down to at the end of the day. So the last thing that I am going to tackle is going to be also in the housing tab, but instead of specific houses, it's going to focus more on furniture sets and furniture, instruments. I mean, this all kind of just falls into the furniture tab, right? You don't need furniture. I mean, if you want to decorate a house, obviously the option is there, but this guide is of course more for newer players or players who cannot spend that much money on the game. So you don't really need to buy, you just don't need housing items. You don't need housing items. They're purely cosmetics for decorating your house. If you want to buy them for that specific purpose, cool. Just know that you really, really, really don't have to. I mean, I will say that there are plenty of cool housing items in the bazaar that you can just purchase for gold. I'm pretty sure with some of these items, some of these items you can even purchase them for gold. So look out for specific items in the housing tab that you can purchase for gold, because you're just going to be wasting way more crowns than you actually need to. But I guess, there are a couple cool items in the crown shop for decorating. I mean, let's say I really want this tower bell, right? Always check if it is purchased for gold, but I guess just harkening back to the whole category of housing items, really not necessary to purchase, really not worth it to spend your crowns on, in my opinion. And that's pretty much it. So anyways, that is going to be it for the video, everyone. I really hope you guys did enjoy. If you did, you could always leave a like on the video or subscribe to the channel. It would mean the absolute world to me, and I really, really do appreciate it. So once again, hopefully you guys did enjoy, and hopefully this did help you out in all of your crown shop endeavors. And I will see you all next time. Take care, and peace out, guys.